Good morning, brave awakened ones. This is Lady V Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics. Namaste, peace. Thank you to my subscribers and supporters and all those ordering t-shirts and books. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. This is another one. Every new day is an opportunity for a do-over. We all could use some do-overs, okay? It's a real cute shirt. Um, and I love the quality and the length of it because it goes halfway on your butt. Um, if you want to see all that, it's in my community page. I took a couple of cute shots with some of my teas. And that's Lady V's Teas. You can find on my website, higherrealmholistics.com, along with my children's picture book, which was #1 book in verse on Amazon. Beat out Dr. Seuss, December 2018. And it helps see beautifully colored and illustrated hardcover. Um, it's available at all major online books retailers worldwide, and in some Barnes and Nobles. It's on the shelves in the East Coast of USA. I'm in the Miami Beach area. Okay. Also, I'm a empath, intuitive, certified holistic integrative health nurse. 16 years in medicine, conventional medicine. 3 years in holistic health. I have an office in North Miami Beach, Florida, Reiki Master, and certified EFT tapping. I also have webinars in Higher Realm Magic. I consider myself a Higher Realm Magic High Priestess. And I hold the webinars is to teach you how to do Higher Realm Magic. And also, when we're doing the webinars, I do it for the group who's there. So we all receive the benefit of it, and then you go and do it on your own. You learn how to do it, and you go do it on your own too, for yourself and your loved ones. You get a recording and all the material, the written material that goes with it. I'm very meticulous, step-by-step directions. It's only $22. And all the past webinars are available on my website at higherrealmholistics.com. I have 2 coming up. One on the 28th, which is tomorrow, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still time to register, and it's to call in your soulmate. And then I have one August 2nd. That's a Friday because that's Venus Day. And that is for business owners and entrepreneurs. So you can have success in your business. Okay. And I was guided to do that one for myself. I was like, okay, why didn't I think of that? But I literally just surrendered to my higher self. And it's like, I pray. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? Since I was banned, blacklisted from Instagram, I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I had a whole campaign written out for Instagram to do for my t-shirts. And now it's like, what do I do? So I was guided on what to do, and it was to do that, to take it from the higher perspective and do a higher realm magic conjuring for it. So that's what I'm going to be doing August 2nd for all who join in, and then you learn to do it for yourself also. Okay, and you use it for whatever you want to, every time you need it. Okay, so this is an NRV. This is NRV 28. Now, I woke up this morning to a confirmation to NRV 26, which I spoke about a volcano, and I made a janky drawing where I said there was a low basin where a volcano is. Like, it wasn't shooting up out of the ground. I said it was a low basin. But Gaia, Earth, was opening up new fissures around that, and it was a huge basin. I said it was surrounded by water, that I kept seeing water. It was surrounded by water. A lot of people suggested Yellowstone. I even said, I don't know, maybe it's Yellowstone, not sure. I saw some rocks around it that seemed kind of reddish brown to me, but I saw water, and I said that in the video, and I said it was the northwest section of America, surrounded by water, low basin volcano with fissures flowing around it. Now, somebody suggested that I subscribe to Dutch Sense, DUTCHSINSE, and he is like a weather truther. Been doing it for a while, keeps up with all that. So I was like, okay, I did it. And I got a notification from him this morning, 5 hours ago, off the coast of Oregon and Washington State. And I said Oregon and Washington State, not in the NRV 26, but 2 other ones before that. I said Washington State and Oregon. and it's going to be from all the way up there to like mid California, if any of you remember that. And they said that the water is hot like fire, and they have a feeling a volcano is erupting under the water, and the tears just started flowing. I was like, oh shit, that was it. That's what I saw, because I saw the low basin surrounded by water. And I saw it up there in the North Oregon, Washington state area. So it's happening. But like I said, Earth is compensating for that and opening new fissures around that huge basin. But that's also going to trigger that huge earthquake too. And be aware also, tsunami possible. And I said it was coming very soon, and here we are, Saturday the 27th, and I just made this NRV. Okay, so again, be careful for those out there in the northwest coast. Okay, and Earth is compensating because a lot of this is not natural. It's not. It's all being caused by those deep state people, cabal people, negative 4D people, to take as many down with them as possible, because they know they're going down. Excuse me. They know they're going down. They know they lost the war, but they're not going to stop until they are stopped. Okay, they will not stop until they are stopped. Again, it's the narcissistic spirit. If any of you dealt with a straight up hardcore narcissist, you know they don't stop until you smash them down completely. They don't stop on their own. They may seem to go away a little bit, but then they come back even harder. And they don't stop until they are stopped. So I've mentioned this several times. Between now and 2022, the end of 2021, 2022 sees a relief, okay? But between now and the end of 2021, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going, okay? This is the reaping. This is the apocalypse. This is the end of the Kali Yuga, okay? This is it. So we're going to see things like this. And, you know, there's a lot of natural earth changes, but it's mostly to compensate for what they're trying to do in destroying Earth. It's like what they did to Mars. They rather destroy it than let it go. That's why a narcissist will kill you before letting you go. Think about that. A narcissist would rather kill you and see you dead. It's not that they love you. They may not have any need for you, but rather see you go off with somebody else and be happy. They'd rather destroy you. So just, that's what's going on. This is the cycle. Okay, so be careful out there. To my folks, Northwest, okay? You know, try to go in further east. Try to go further east, okay? So yeah, I had to calm down from shaking so hard after seeing that. And I knew, because I was guided to go, and then I saw my phone, saw the alert. So that's what's going on with that. Another part of this NRV is, before I even go into the next section of the NRV, I had a couple of people comment in defense of Judge Hunter with what I said yesterday, with her being dragged off, being found guilty on one of the counts. She had 8 counts against her, 7 or 8 counts against her, and she was only convicted of 1 and got 6 months. Straight up, I ain't buying it. Because when I worked in adolescent psych, that was in Atlanta, and in the 3 years I was there, I can count on one hand how many kids from Atlanta came. It was 174 beds. Within 3 years, I can count on one hand how many kids were actually from the state of Georgia and surrounding states of Georgia. They came from Ohio. They came from New Jersey. A couple of New York kids, not that many. I can count on one hand New York kids. And they came from California. That's where all those kids came from. And there was a lot of funny stuff going on with their documents. constant. Okay, even now, I haven't worked there in a very long time, but I have a very close friend who's high up in there, who my office was right by hers, and and she's still saying all the funny business going on. Okay, so if she got caught out there on one thing that they managed to make stick when it comes to her brother, and her brother worked in one of these type of facilities, and apparently he punched a kid. If that thing was caught on camera and she was there trying to finagle ways for her brother to keep a job, no, she should go down for that. She has no business. If he punched that freaking kid in the face, trust me, I know. I had keys. Let me tell you a quick story. Because of how I wore 3 hats there, I had keys. It was like a 70-acre campus. It was a huge campus because we had to have our own school there too. Okay? So it was a huge campus, about 70 acres, lake school, the whole bit. Okay? And different units, for different age groups. It was from 10 to 18. You can't put a 10-year-old with an 18-year-old. So the little ones had their unit, the little boys had their unit, teen boys had theirs, teen girls had theirs, and then you had for the sex offenders unit, which was about 70 something kids who were sexually offended and became wretched sex offenders. I mean, horrible. And in this whole population, you have 50% of the kids just being runaways, trying to get away from their abusers, put in with kids who are hardcore sex offenders, who were raped themselves. Okay? Almost all the kids were raped. Almost all, boys and girls. Almost all of them. And it was like a 50-50 population with girls and boys. Almost all of them were raped. Okay? Very few weren't. So, gosh, thinking about that place again. So, you had in the non-violent kids with the violent kids, okay? And by the time they were done, I mean, it was a constant cycle, especially when you're trying to send them back to their states, trying to find a good place for them. The states would extend it, backdate things, add these charges, quote unquote, out of nowhere. And the kids would be screaming and crying, but I didn't do that. What are they talking about? Blah, 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 blah. No, it didn't happen then. So to hear that she backdated some kids' records so they could stay longer in juvie, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. And when I meditated on it, I straight up meditated on it to look into it, besides reading up on all her other charges. And I was told the punishment will fit the crime. Let the punishment fit the crime. And when I originally was sent her video, I was like, oh shit. It was divinely intervention that the video was sent to me. It wasn't somebody that sent it to me. It just popped up, and it was just her trial. It was literally the camera in the courtroom, and that was it. Charges being read and her sentencing. After that, the whole thing. So I watched a couple hours of it. I was like, oh wow. They start with the low level first. The low levels, well, you have a Jeffrey Epstein, all his people. That's a lot more complicated. But the lower level, the bottom feeders, that's what I heard, the bottom feeders, they're coming in first. And I don't care if she's black. I'm a black woman. I don't care. And just because some white men, as people keep pointing out, may have gotten away with it so far, and she's like one of the first ones in that system to fall, that doesn't mean she should get off. And I'm tired of black people talking crazy like that. Okay? I'm tired of black people talking crazy like that. I'm taking off the Sherpa hat. I'm tired of black folks talking crazy like that. As a black person myself, I may be mixed, but you know what? Still, I'm tired of the crazy talk. Just because some white folks gotten off and, the black people are always the first to go down. And, okay, so they got caught. If we keep pushing, they will all get caught. The whole system is going down. This is the apocalypse. If she was one of the ones that was sloppy enough to get caught right now, she got caught in the net. But they're all getting caught in the net. Okay? They're all getting caught in the net. So I'm sick and tired of this black and white thing, because that is what is going on. That is part of the race war. That is what's causing the divide. That is what's being used to blind folks and be like, oh no, but he did it and he's white. How come he's not, convicted yet? They have to be out there, so they should have gotten caught. Yeah, trust me. Of course, there has to be more than one. She hasn't been in that game for that long. I'm sure it goes way, way back. They got to drag them all in. Yeah, be patient. They are coming. I know they're coming. So to say that, oh, it's because they didn't want her to take the seat and she won from a Republican because she's Democratic. Okay, fine. But she still did some shit. She still did. She still did. God only knows what else she would have done if she would have stayed in that seat. And were there people before who did a lot of crooked stuff? I'm absolutely sure, because I haven't been in that system in a while, and I was dealing with that stuff when it comes to all the crazy paperwork and seeing stuff backdated and blah blah, and the kid protesting and you having to try to figure out the ins and outs and knowing everybody's crooked, where the kid's coming from. That they're just keeping the kid in the system and getting kickbacks. Okay? So, yes. But it runs across all lines of color. It doesn't matter. But does that mean because that has been happening that, so they should get off in it, like as a form of like reparations? They should get off with some shit like that? Absolutely not. No. No. They're all going down. I don't care what you look like. You're all going down. All right? So that's all I have to say about that. Now, the other NRV I'm talking about is the return of the X. I was told the return of the X. Now, I had mentioned like about a week and a half ago, and I told you guys out there, be careful, for you may think they're your guide, or they come looking like your ex, who you might still have some sort of connection to, especially if you have children, you were married, whatever, you're still somehow stuck to that ex, connected to them, that they're going to try to finagle their way back in. That narcissistic spirit of theirs is going to come after you in the ethereal. Okay? And that happened to me. That happened to me for 3 days straight, almost 2 weeks ago. And I was like, why is my ex-husband, narcissistic spirit, coming up after me, trying to snuggle up on me and shit like that? What the heck? And every time I was like, oh no, I know who you are. I know what you're up to. No. And it looked like him, but it looked like him when he looked real good, you know? So I'm like, no. And it was just like, no, I'm so sorry. We could be friends, blah, blah, blah. Can I write to you? I'm like, no, you can't. You cannot contact me. You cannot write to me. No, not hearing it. Okay. Oh, then of course, that narcissistic spirit always says, oh, you're supposed to forgive and forget. I said, I forgave, but there's no way in heck I'm going to forget to allow you to take advantage of me again. No, be gone. Okay. So the return of the X has to do with what's going on right now and the whole apocalypse, the uncovering. All of those, this is, again, I had mentioned, this is not just about people, in higher up places, politicians or judges or rich people. What this is anyone who's been harboring that narcissistic spirit and has been doing harm, they too will have the punishment fit the crime scenario going on with them. Now, last week, it hasn't been a full week, but last week, maybe 5 days ago, I was woken up by hearing a punch and yelling, and I almost thought like there are people in my house. I'm like, my neighbors aren't loud. And then I was in a remote view. I was laying there, and I'm like, what is this? And I was in my ex-husband's kitchen in his wife's house. Not that I've ever been inside their house. I've picked up my kids outside of their house, and I'm just like, I was like, okay, this must be their kitchen. And then I saw them arguing, and I saw her punching him in the face. And apparently all the shit he'd done came out. And I was like, ooh, wouldn't that be grand? But that's part of my son leaving there, which my son is supposed to do and stuff like that, whatever. So I got a frantic call from my son yesterday. Oh my God, Mom, the crazy stuff going on. He was at work I had called him to see how he was doing, and he's like, I'm at work, but I gotta tell you something's going on. I'm like, okay, call me after work. Midnight, he was still at work, so I'll check on him this morning. But it's going down. It is going down. All those narcissists who thought they were slick, all things in the dark is being brought to light. That's why you make sure you make sure your slate is clean. Stay clean. That's all I gotta say. We already are. Those of us who eke through, we already eke through. We purged everything. We made amends for everything. I know my soul is clean. I am one in the spirit right here. I took advantage that every new day was a do-over, and that's exactly what I kept saying to myself. This is one of the phrases I love to say phrases to myself, as you guys could see. I'm like, every new day is a do-over. Okay, if I did this yesterday, I can make amends and do it right today. And that's exactly how I live. If I did this yesterday, today I'm gonna woman up and I'm going to make it right today. And intentions has a lot to do with it. All right. I don't wake up saying I'm gonna cover up for what I did. I did this. I'm gonna cover up. I'm gonna lie. No. I'm like, I'm gonna make it right. Whatever I did that didn't feel right to me, I'm gonna make it right today. And that's what counts in the universe, is that intention, that wholehearted intention, that you're doing it out of love. You're doing it, in respect of divine law. Okay, not trying to cover your ass. Not trying to get by, not trying to think you're cheating. You can't cheat the universe. These people, the narcissistic spirit thinks it could cheat the universe. Not anymore. Not anymore. So, even your bottom feeder narc is about to have their punishment fit their crime. It's all coming out. Okay, and another NRV I had was, I saw barrels, literally barrels, somebody like a wheelbarrow, metal wheelbarrows, all these people with wheelbarrows, and the wheelbarrows were filled of uh, uh, file boxes. Those boxes you see in the office where people keep files in sometimes, like they're brown and white. File boxes, just wheelbarrows and wheelbarrows of file boxes. Okay. And I saw them coming out of different, I gotta stop frowning. Stuff makes me frown a lot. I saw them coming out of different locations, out of these big, beautiful houses, file boxes. Some of them said Obama on them. Okay. Some of them said Epstein case, like there were different names of different people in these file boxes. And there were file boxes coming out of Epstein's island also. And it was just like, it looked like carbon copies, because all the people looked the same in the same clothes, and they were all like, it was like this. They were coming out of some place and they were like this. And they were loading them onto a ship. Just loading, they were like file boxes, just filing in with the file boxes and the wheelbarrows. Yeah. So when it comes to people going down right now, and this apocalypse, this unveiling, all the dark coming to light, again, it's going to be people aren't going to believe. And these people, the narcissistic, think of the narcissistic spirit, y'all. It never admits guilt. You will never have a narcissist say, I'm guilty. They never take responsibility. That is part of the narcissistic spirit. It does not take responsibility. It does not admit guilt. So they're going to say they're innocent to their grave. Because if they say they're guilty, if they take responsibility, that would absolve them. That is when you get forgiveness. That is when you're able to go all the way from that negative side of the pendulum and swing over to the positive side. Okay? That is why you could swing as far right as you are left. And we've seen cases of that where people are horribly guilty, have done terrible things, like that Dutch banker. Was he Dutch? He's from around those places. And he was part of that world and did not cross that line. When they took him up there to cross that line, eat of the flesh and drink of the blood, he admitted his guilt. He knew the consequences that it could have meant in his life. He did not care. He was more concerned about his eternal soul. And he flipped as far right as he was left. And I say the same thing for Trump. He flipped as far right as he was left. And that can happen. But the admission of guilt must happen. Doing something to make amends must happen. That's why Trump, you don't think they tried to kill him several times? He knows the risk he's taking for himself and his children, but he's trying to save his and his family's soul. So he's doing it. That banker, he knows there's a lot of people coming out there who may have been way up there, and they truly are repentant because they realize it's not about this material realm at all, that this is all a lie. So they're more concerned about what's going to happen afterwards, so they don't even care if they get murdered, if they get, suicided, whatever, or, Arkansas, if you know what I mean. They're willing to take that opportunity. They're willing to take that. The risk is worth it to them for their eternal soul. Okay? So they're never going to admit it unless they're looking for absolution. And to be honest with you, and the ones that are coming out right now, there aren't that many that are going to come out and say, yeah, I did this, I'm guilty, I'm going to turn evidence, not because I'm trying to cover my ass or save myself, but because I truly believe that, I want to make amends. I am truly sorry for what I did. Not many are going to come out like that, okay? So it's going to get ugly like that because it's going to be people you love, people you trust. They're going to be busted wide open. It's all going to be busted wide open. And the more public figure they are, the uglier it's going to be, okay? And remember, even in your own life also, it's like that one uncle everyone thought was this great person, but turned out he was busy molesting, a cousin of yours for how long? And now, that happened in my own family. That happened in my own family. A cousin's husband, and he was trying to molest my own daughter and tried to molest another cousin, and no one wanted to believe the teenager. And then my daughter came out and said what he tried to do with her, and me knocking on the door ready to castrate him. Everybody from Canada to France to the Caribbean knew. And he was busted wide open, but his own wife was like, no, she didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to believe it still. And was fighting for it. There was few family members that fought for it, but the rest were like, oh my God, we feel terrible that we didn't believe the teenager that said that he tried something with her. But now, since my daughter was only 9, everybody believed it, at that, not everybody, the majority of the family believed it at that point. But, that's going to happen a lot in your own families too. So be ready for it. It's all going to come out. So that's what's going to cause so much strife, so much infighting, so much infighting, and they're going to take full advantage of it. Like Ilhan Omar, people trying to protect her left and right. And it's so much crap is going to come out about her, but people are going to be so blinded by the whole color thing, which is why that squad is coming out with the whole color thing to really drill in that separation. And it's working. It's really working. Try to rise up above it. All right, y'all. So things are heated again. Northwest Coast people, be careful. Go further in east. Meditate. Find out where the best place is for you. I can't tell you because it's up to you. I'm here right across from the ocean. People telling me move away from the ocean, but I know what I saw, and I know I'm safe. Exactly where I'm supposed to be. Okay. So that's it. Lady V out. Peace. See some of you guys tomorrow on my webinar. All right. HighRealmHolistics.com. If you're interested in any of my books, t-shirts, they're more than t-shirts. And it's for adults and children's too. I do have some t-shirts based on my book, and it's really cute. Spread your wings and fly. That's what they say. Okay. So you can get t-shirts for the kids also, for yourself, and hoodies and everything. Zip front hoodies, which I love the design of my zip front hoodies. Okay, y'all. Lady V out. Namaste. Bye. We got this.